I think it start recording. Okay, great. It's recording now. Good morning, everyone. My name is Debbie. I am the Associate Director of Financial Aid and at International Enrollment Management here at Duke Kunshan University. I just ask you a few questions before we start this session. It seems like a lot of you are in 11th grade, and also a lot of you, this is the first time hearing about Duke Kunshan University. So welcome. Thank you. So before we get started, I just have a quick video to show you guys, and then afterwards we will do some presentations, but I want this to be more interactive, so I already invited a student to join me. She will join me a little bit later, and then we will have a Q&A part during the session. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave in the chat and comment box. You can leave it publicly, but also you can direct message me if you want. It's really up to you how comfortable you're feeling, okay? So let's do a quick video and then we'll get it started. Let's see here. Share.
To reimagine your college education. Think about how it can prepare you to lead in a world that looks nothing like the one we know today. How can you arm yourself with the tools necessary to succeed in an uncertain future? Okay, we may have gone too far. But seriously, how can you be ready for whatever comes your way? As you ponder this question, let us tell you how we are getting ready for the future. It begins with an understanding of who we are. We are Duke Kunshan University, an institution built specifically to prepare the next generation of global leaders. We were founded by two world-class institutions, Duke University in the US and Wuhan University in China, with a clear mission to empower our students to lead in an uncertain future. Our students study on both the Duke Kunshan campus in China and Duke's campus in the US, giving them access to resources across two elite academic institutions. Upon graduation, students will receive 2 degrees, a US degree from Duke University and a Chinese degree from Duke Kunshan University, opening up career opportunities anywhere in the world. To prepare the leaders of tomorrow, we provide a liberal arts and sciences education with an innovative approach to the university experience. With Duke's rich heritage of academic excellence as the foundation, learning at DKU is problem-based, collaborative, and experiential. Our students develop the ability to think critically, from an international perspective, and to solve problems creatively. We divide the conventional semester into 2 7-week blocks, and our students take classes 4 days a week. Fridays are reserved for activities outside of the classroom, allowing students to apply what they learn in real-world settings. At DKU, we believe research is an important part of the student experience. Students can begin working with faculty on cutting-edge research from their freshman year. The DKU Startup Incubator also supports student innovators from the moment they set foot on our campus. Along with many other events and clubs, our students can truly explore their interests and passions. You may wonder, why China? We have strategically located our campus in Kunshan, China. China is the world's fastest growing major economy, and Kunshan is the most developed county-level city in China. Ever wonder how China has gone from this to this? Why go anywhere else to study when you can learn about and experience China's rapid transformation and apply that innovative spirit to your life and career? Our state Our location allows our students to enjoy a close-knit campus life, as well as the exciting opportunities in and outside the region. International students do not need to know Chinese to be admitted to DKU, but they are required to take 2 years of Chinese beginning in their first year, and many will continue their Chinese language studies in order to achieve greater fluency. We believe acquiring Chinese language skills gives students deeper insight into Chinese culture, not to mention giving them the ability to communicate with 1/5 of the planet.
KU!
But what really makes us who we are is our students. They are pioneers, innovators, change makers who want to have an impact in our community and in their careers. Together, they form a passionate diverse and inclusive community. Our students come from over 50 countries, bringing their diverse backgrounds, perspectives, identities, languages, and cultures into our community. They are attracted to DKU because they are eager to share their unique perspective, to learn from each other, to grow, and to build a better world where everyone is accepted, included, and celebrated. At DKU, our students know they will develop the global competencies that will enable them to effect change in their careers and beyond. So, this is who we are. We are redefining what a truly global and 21st century education means. And this is how we will prepare students to be leaders of the future. Are you ready?
Great. So that leaves my question to you all. Are you ready? Are you ready for today's session? Are you ready to learn more about Duke Kunshan University? And most importantly, are you ready to be the next change maker? So give me a thumbs up if you're ready for what's happening next. Great. I'm seeing a lot of, and the celebration. That's great. Okay, so let me share my slides so you guys can see. Okay. Just 1 second. And thank you all for joining me on a Sunday morning. Really appreciate that. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Probably also me somewhere. Awesome. Great, great. Okay, so we are Duke Kunshan University, as you all know, and we are Duke Education in China. So first of all, I'd just like to let me.
You just keep going. I will let the student in if somebody joins in.
Yeah, thank you. I'm also just seeing multiple windows popping up. I'm just minimize them. Okay, great. So first of all, just want to say I'm really, we also have a student from Vietnam. She will be joining us in a few minutes. Her name is V. She's a current student, and these are all the beautiful pictures she took while she was on campus. And we also have student representation from all across Vietnam, actually. We have students currently study at DKU coming from the north, the central, the south, and not only the big cities, just so you know, also from a lot of cities that actually I can't really pronounce at the top of my mind, but I have a list of going. So I would love to see more diversities there, but really excited. And also want to just share a story with you quickly. So 5 years ago, 2019, I had the opportunity to meet with one of the students from Haiphong High School in Saigon, and she was just like many of you, just heard about Duke Kunshan University, interested in knowing more. Back then, before COVID, I had the opportunity to speak with her in person. So that's V right there on the left, right on the left of the picture, and that was 2019. And eventually she applied and enrolled, and we met on campus a few times while she was here, and this was a picture we took last week when she graduated. You can see she had her Vietnamese costume on inside her cap and gown, and mainly her gown, her cap was missing. But I was very excited to see her. And this is also a quick story of her. The first slide was from 2020, as you could see, before she enrolled. So she was just like many of you. She was in high school. She was interested in studying, looking at different options, and she chose, I believe she applied to DKU ED, so she got her decision in December. And then she was sharing with DKU committee community what she was excited about. And throughout the years, she studied at Duke. She also studied her own project business. She was, I think she created an interactive game for the Empire City in Hui. I think that's how I pronounce that. So more stories, if you just search online, you will find them, but it's very inspiring to hear. So my point is, you guys just like her, you are here learning about DKU probably for your first time this time, but please be patient. If you have follow-up questions, if you want to know more, please connect. You can connect with me. You can connect directly with a DKU student. A lot of them are currently actually in Vietnam and very back for their summer break, and they are very excited to share, connect with you if you are interested. So do not hesitate to reach out, and we're here for you. And these are just some pictures of our current Vietnamese student community. It's only some of them, but very excited to see this group here. So because of COVID, the student couldn't join the campus in China for a few semesters, but eventually they joined, I believe that was in 2022. So there was a selfie we took, very, very happy. And recently, just before they went back to Vietnam for our summer break, we had a bubble tea together and celebrate V's graduation, of course, but mostly just checking and chat to see what's going on. I'm hearing a lot of inspiring stories, and some of them, are changing majors. They are doing economics and also psychology when they came, but now they're changing to other ideas. We also have, I think, bio, like working in the lab, and many different options. So as we go through the session today, I want you to think about what you want to do right now, but like you don't need to stick to that. That's the beauty about our curriculum. And this was from the Global Cultural Month. They are representing Vietnam at our Global Cultural Month. And as you can see, they have different elements representing Vietnam. I heard there was a really good shout out from them. I think they performed on stage. They also wear their traditional ao dai and other costume. I think there was a football t-shirt, a soccer t-shirt, like they are wearing to represent the national team of Vietnam. So many to say that we have very engaged and a very active Vietnamese student group on campus. Okay, so back to business. So what is Duke Kunshan University? Duke Kunshan University, as the video already mentioned, so we are located in Kunshan, right outside Jiangsu. So we offer, undergraduate study only started in 2018. So we're still fairly young. We haven't reached our 10th class yet. But as I mentioned, we just had our third class graduated. That was class of 2024. So right now, for the class of, like, if you are currently grade 11, you're basically looking at entry year for next year, or you will be graduating in 2029. That's about, so we only have few classes. We're still very young. We're also a very global university. We attract students from all over the world, and our curriculum is is designed to have this interactive, innovative, practical, and a global approach, and it's all newly designed and for students to have a meaningful difference in the world. That's why the video mentioned that we want a change maker. Are you ready to be a change maker? As I mentioned, as you can see from the first slide in my video, it says actually we are Duke Education in China. So what's our relationship with Duke University in the United States? So we're a partnership with Duke. Duke Kunshan was founded actually with Duke University in US, Wuhan University in China, and also the city of Kunshan. So that's why our logo is kind of triangle, just forms a three partnership. So you can consider Duke as our parent. So we carry the Duke gene. And Duke is one of the top ranked universities in the US, in the world. And the students will have the opportunity to study on two campuses. The graduated class student I just showed you, she studied at Duke's campus in her junior year, and some others are also going to Duke next semester or next year to study. This is optional, you don't have to, but if you're interested and you have the resources to go, why not, right? And the beauty about our curriculum, about our program is you will earn 2 degrees. One is Duke Kunshan University degree in China. The other one is Duke University degree in the US. And you will also be joining two alumni network. One is a well-established and very active like Duke alumni network. The other one is Duke Kunshan University alumni network, which is still fairly young, but it also makes them very engaging and very active. We are founded on a principle called rooted globalism. What does that mean is we want a student to bring their own and unique perspectives shaped by their own background, experience, and bring it to our community. You will be surrounded with classmates from all over the world, and they are also as eager to share their own perspectives and perspectives, and also eager to hear from you. I just showed a picture of the current enrolled Vietnamese students, some of them, from the Global Cultural Fair. But although they all from Vietnam, but we consider them all very different. Some of them are working as RA, which means resident assistant. They are helping in the dorm and doing, residential living learning community stuff. Some of them are working as RA, which means research assistant. So they are like helping professors, helping faculty members to do research, and a very exciting academia route. Some of them are from, good number of them actually from Ho Chi Minh City, but they all bringing their own different perspectives. That's what we're looking for. We don't want you come in and just say, oh, I'm from Vietnam, I represent Vietnam, Vietnamese culture. That's great. That's what we want to hear, right? But also what about you? Like where you come from, what you can bring to DKU, and how you can shape our community, but also your own personality and your own portfolio. So that will be very interesting to hear. So our students throughout their journey at DKU, they will understand that in order to solve a complex problems we're facing today, COVID, using that as example, you do need to be equipped with different competencies and knowledge to tackle those problems, to approach it from different angles. And our students will, through their journey here, will develop an understanding of a wide range of cultures as they become true global citizens. And they are prepared to lead in the global environment. The global challenges I just mentioned a few times, they can be, health, global health was one of the big ones, COVID, energy, there's a war going on somewhere in the world, the economy, like currency, inflation, deflation, and politics. There's so much going on. So how we can tackle those problems, how we can address those big issues, that's something you could think of. Just quickly mention our curriculum. So we are research and liberal arts and science curriculum, and all of our majors are interdisciplinary. I will get into that very quickly. And we are formed in a discussion-based courses. Most of our classes are very small, and we also looking to build students, their critical thinking and challenging, supported by a group of professors. We are here at DKU, and it's all learn how to apply those knowledges in a cross-cultural setting. Our classroom environment is usually very engaging, so it's more or less likely will be today that I will do most of the talking and you just listen. But for the second part of that, I was expecting something similar to our classroom. I want you to engage. I want you to speak to me, speak to our current students, to ask questions, because in the engaging classroom settings, then you can have the opportunity to share your opinions, share your ideas, listen to others' opinions, often resulting, can be very informative and more lively conversation. Through those experiences, that's how our students can develop their critical thinking and problem-solving skills. And they have and that's also very important to be one of the components to tackle the problems we just mentioned. Our faculty members are all recruited from the world. They can be from Duke, they can from China, they can all be recruited from all over the world. Our student to faculty ratio is very ideal. It's 7:1, and 20% of our undergraduate, close to 30% the last time I checked, and I haven't put in the recent data yet. But it's a lot of our students are doing research with faculty even as undergraduate students. I mentioned there's a unique course schedule. It's 7-week sessions, so it's innovative semester. It's innovative and it's also very, I think, stressful. Like our student call it that way because in every 7 weeks, you are acquiring a new course. You are doing midterms, finals, quizzes, and papers, and debate, and presentation. So academic life will keep you very busy, but that doesn't mean like you don't have time to do other things. And I'm sure I will let our student representative to share more. We don't have classes on Friday, so that's a perk. But that doesn't mean you have 3-day weekend all the time. A lot of students, they do experiential learning. They work on campus, as research assistant, as a resident assistant, as I mentioned, and also the other activities they are doing. All of the courses are taught in English, so you don't need to worry about if you don't speak any Chinese. As if you are following my conversation, you should be fine with your English, okay? Yeah, and there are also small discussion-based classroom, as I mentioned. Some students may worry about the internet access at DKU. Don't worry about it. Like on our DKU's network, you have access to all of the things, like you have access to Google, YouTube, Facebook, everything. You also have access to the full Duke digital library, so it's very open. Yes, and if you are off campus, you can use our DKU's VPN to connect to the to the network outside the Great Firewall. And as I talked about majors, so this is just quickly show you our majors. Our majors are divided into 3 divisions: natural science, social science, and humanities. All of the students take 3 common courses developed, and with a big with a big focus on what the world is facing. So you are also required to take Mandarin classes for at least 2 years, depending on where you start. And then you take electives, and then you will also and we don't declare major. So don't worry about you need to select a major right now. We actually don't declare major until the end of your 2nd year. So that's the beauty of that. Like you don't, if I think I mentioned some student, I remember one of the students were interested in economics when they came in, like was so decided and determined to do that. And 2 years later, he actually ended up in, I believe he ended up media arts and creative practice. So that's a whole different route he went to, but also very exciting for him. Okay. And I already mentioned that Duke Kunshan students, you will have the opportunity to experience the life in the US as well. In junior year, you will have the opportunity to study at Duke's campus in Durham, and you will be able to participate in campus activities and even go to a Duke basketball game, depending on the time of the year you went to, right? Like if you are following basketball, you may know Duke is very famous for their NCAA level, Division I level basketball. It's Blue Devils. It's one of the most, I think, famous and also competent team in NCAA. And our campus, we're very excited to share. Like our campus now is like in the stage of we have 2 phases. It's state-of-art facility. Everything's newly built, and to the level, it's very new, but also it's very and once you walk through the campus, you can see the design behind it. Our facilities, we have great learning lab for STEM classes and for innovative courses. We also have beautiful residence halls, and like a very open space. You can just lean on the couch and study, or like just think about things. But our phase 2 campus is even more exciting. So this just opened last May. So it's only been a year, but now you can see we have like a more complete campus now. We have a theater in our campus where our students do performing and like activities going on. This is our state-of-art library. As I mentioned, it has places you can study for 24 hours if you want. We don't encourage that, but sometimes for finals you may need to study a bit late. So library will be where you can go. And we also have, I see, for the folks who turn on camera, I see a lot of athletic shirts on. So I'm assuming we have a good sports representation here. So I'm very excited. I'm very excited to show you our newest complete sports complex. Actually equipped with over 150 pieces of cardio weight strength training equipment. We have basketball court, we have badminton court, table tennis court, volleyball court, yoga dance studios, indoor running track. So if it rains, that's fine. You can do indoor running. And we also are very excited to have a swimming pool. It's actually a 25-meter swimming pool and has 8 lanes. We have climbing wall. I don't have a picture of the climbing wall, but the climbing wall just opened last week. So also very excited to see that. We also have martial arts dojo. So if for those of you who practice martial arts so basically our phase 2 campus is very exciting to stay healthy and to stay fit. And also, this is just some pictures of our dorm where a majority of our undergraduate students study. We are a residential campus, so students are required to stay on campus for their 4 years. There's some common cooking area in the dorm. This is also, team room in the dorm. You can have team meetings, gatherings. This is also just common open space in the dorm. But this is also for a shared bed. So that's what it looks like. So you will have a bed up there, but you will have plenty space of study desk and closet and living area down there. And we are trying our best to pair a Vietnamese student, not only Vietnamese, international students with a Chinese student. So you will have a Chinese student roommate to be your roommate, so you can learn and share the culture with him or her. And life in Kunshan, I would say life in Kunshan is I will let the students speak more, but life in Kunshan is pretty convenient. You can go to Suzhou, that's actually where I live. I live in Suzhou, and then also go to Shanghai by train, by taxi, now we have a subway going through. So it's very convenient to go through, and also it's combination of modern and historical gardens. That's what Suzhou is famous for. For surrounding Suzhou cities, as I mentioned, we have water towns that's over 1,000 years history. So water towns are very similar to the concept of Hui'an. I think that's the ancient town in Vietnam. So very similar to that, but also you can see the differences in between. And then the modern mega city like Shanghai, but also the historical gardens in Suzhou. Why DKU? Like that's all the questions. That's always a question I usually get from students. So 2 degrees, 1 Duke, 1 DKU, 1 Chinese, 1 American degree, just all together, and you will get 2. And also the languages. Assuming you speak Vietnamese, and also you're currently following my session, so you speak very good English. And then by the time you graduate, you should be able to speak some level of Chinese, depending on how high you want to go. We have students already speak fluent Chinese. Vietnamese students speak fluent Chinese on campus, but we also have students, they are comfortable with, getting to conversational and then they stop at the level. That's also fine. But at least, then by the time you graduate, you will have at least 3 languages, maybe 4, maybe 5, depending on how many you want to achieve. The video mentioned 50 different nationalities, and the video was made 4 years ago. So over the years, we have increased our student representation to over 60 different countries all across 6 different continents. Here are some quotes from our previous students. I'm not going to raise those, and you can quickly glance at them. Basically, there are different reasons why they chose DKU. I think the students all find later on, they all find what's enjoyable, what's meaningful for them, and they eventually choose DKU, and they are happy here. And one of the most important thing is fit, like not all of you in this room maybe today will be a good fit for DKU. Or put it that way, not everyone who apply to who are interested in DKU may thrive at DKU. Like there are certain types of students we're looking for, and it's very important to ask yourself this question: will you be a good fit for DKU? And that's you can find out through many different ways. Have a conversation with me, have a conversation with the current study students or recent graduates, and then ask yourself. So mostly we're looking at global minded. That means like adventurous, highly engaged students. Right now, that means well-rounded. You may not only study in your high school and just doing math or just doing literature. Maybe you are also doing something more exciting. So well-rounded student, high achievers or open-minded. We are a global university that has students from all across different cultures. That's very important to have that open mindset and high impact. You should be a caring, and then you should be someone who interesting of making an impact not only to yourself, to the community, but also maybe in a bigger scale. Eager to learn from others, like in order to learn from others, you could of course listen and hear, but oftentimes it involves a cultural or conversation exchange, right? So you're also eager to share. From the group of picture I shared earlier, you can see the current Vietnamese students on campus. They are very eager to share. They were so proud of their cultural heritage, and I think they really were to represent Vietnam on our campus. And also you are fascinated with China and the world, like our campus is in China. You will spend the majority of your year here. But like if you have no interest in China, maybe that's not a good fit, right? Like or if you have some interest or you want to learn more, that might be a good indicator. And but if you sat through this session, you probably already learn something about DKU. So that's something I would be interested from the admission officer to hear from you, that you did your research, you understand what you're applying for, what you are signing up for. I think that's very important. Just also give you some idea about where we're located. So there are direct flights from Shanghai to Hanoi, to both, and Hanoi, I think Hanoi, Da Nang, and Ho Chi Minh City all have direct flights. Theoretically, it's about time like 3 hour, 4 hours, 3 hour, 40 minutes, 4 hours something. In reality, it could be shorter. Usually they land earlier, based on my previous experience, but I will let the students speak more. And we're also very close, I believe a group of Vietnamese students, they just took a trip to Jeju Island in Korea a few weeks ago during their spring break. So it's very accessible. Go to Beijing. I think I don't know if she's here already, but she was studied in Wuhan University last summer. So they're all very accessible. Some student success story I want to quickly share with you before I turn the mic is where our international student land after graduation. One of the most prestigious scholar program is called Yanqing Scholar Program from Yanqing Academy, and these are our recent graduates, including 2 from class of 24, like join this academy. It's very selective and prestigious. We're very happy to see our alumni joining those judges award. We also have students doing internships with Beijing Olympic Games. We also have students going back to their home country and conduct research with their interest. I think I didn't list it there, but I shared earlier, Ivy, that's how you call her. Like she also used some of the funding from our university to conduct research and to support her incubator in city of Hui doing her research. So this is also another research project from the current students. Again, I'm not gonna read through that. You can all view those later on our website. We have very complete career report from our class of 22 and 23. So we're excited to share that. Here are just some quick stats from our previous two graduating class. I think 98 of them going to like secure their plans after graduation, means either they got jobs or they're going to advanced degrees, and 80% of them receiving top 10 graduate program offers in the US. We have over 130 Ivy League offers for our graduate in class. And we have Rhodes Scholar, we have Yanqing Scholar, we have doctoral programs, we have over 30 students published research paper in international journals. This is a class of 23. You know, this all also very outstanding results. And as you can see, also have job offers, doctoral offers, and then for class of 23, like double the number. Class 22 had a 30, and class 23 will have 57 students published journals in international journal academic conferences. So it's exciting, it's tiring, it's challenging, but it's also very rewarding. All those career reports can be accessible on website, and I'm happy to share a link if you're interested in getting the full report. And here that comes down to the real question, how much does it cost? So don't be scared by the number, it's in US dollars, and it can be viewed very expensive because we do charge the Duke tuition. But the good news is we do offer financial aid and a scholarship. So making sure you indicate you need need-based financial aid on your application if your family could not afford this for the 4 years. Not only for 1 year, this is only 1 year. So for the entire 4 years, if your family could not afford that, that means you have a need, so you should apply for the need-based financial aid. We're need aware, but that also means for whoever we admitted, we want to making sure we meet your need. For example, if your family can afford, let's say, $30,000 a year, what that means that means there is a gap about, $40,000 something. So we'll try our best to cover that in the form of tuition discount or tuition award package if we do admit you. But if you don't apply for financial aid and you come back to me later, oh, I need financial aid and I didn't apply for it, I could not afford $70,000 a year, then there's no fund left. So for you, it's very important to apply for financial aid if your family does have a need. But if your family is well-resourced, you don't need anything from the school, that's also fine. How do you apply? You can apply through common application. We do early decision and a regular decision. Early decision deadline is usually in early November, and the regular decision deadline is early January. So it's very important to know to decide if you think DKU is your #1 school, is your dream school. I encourage you to apply for early decision. Just like Ivy, that's how you call her. 5 years ago when she applied to DKU, she applied for ED, so she knew her result by December, and she can celebrate the new year and the last semester of her high school, and also enjoy the time and just be less stressful. But if you're also weighing your options, apply through RD. That's also fine. You will hear back up from us probably sometime late March, and then you will have time to make a decision by May 1st. That's the national decision deadline. So very similar to a US application process, but this is how it works. Application checklist. So basically, again, very similar to a US application. we need your recommendations, we need your counselor evaluation, we need teacher recommendations, we need comment up an essay and your high school transcript as well. Regarding the standardized test SAT, it has not been decided yet whether we'll continue to do test optional or test required. Basically, once Duke decides, and we'll follow that. And as of today, it's May 20. I don't know, 24th, 25th, but we haven't decided yet. So I'm leaving up there. If you have that, that's great. For the past few years, because of the pandemic, we have been going test optional. And you can follow us on social media, on websites, and you will learn more about our standardized test requirement. Now, last but not least, let me see if do I have V here already? V, can you unmute yourself or maybe turn on your camera so I know you're here? It's hard for me to identify you.
Hi.
Great. There you go. Okay, so now let's welcome our student representative from the I don't know if you are back in Vietnam already, right? So from
Yeah, I'm in Vietnam right now.
Okay, great. So, how about you just share a little bit about yourself, and also you mentioned to me a lot of internship, externship document. You're also vlogging a lot of things. So if you want to just share with this group, ask them to follow your channel, like to learn real perspective from the DKU students angle. That's great. Just share a little bit about yourself. So we'll leave the floor open for questions.
Um, yeah, so my name is V, and right now I'm a rising junior at DKU. How time flies, because I remember like 2 years ago, I also attended the sharing session by Miss Debbie, but now already like going to be a junior. I would say I think I'm a little bit more lucky than other private classes because I can, I could go to China just after my first semester online, and my I think first half of my freshman year and also my sophomore year is fully at DKU, so I experienced a lot of things, and also I'm really grateful for the opportunities that DKU bring to me. So I think at DKU I would say it's more research oriented, which means if you guys really into research and love researching, I would say this is a really good environment. However, I think DKU also has other department and programs try to support students who are interested in joining the industry and working, finding internship instead of doing research. So at my time in DKU, I also attended a program called externship, which means DKU gonna collaborate with other companies for students to learn and then try some of how to involve in their working process. It's kind of short, just around 1 month, but I think I learned a lot. And also I'm majoring in political economy. So as Miss Debbie already mentioned, because DKU is a liberal arts environment, so you can have other 2 years to explore on things you like, and then you can declare your major. So I changed my major 4 times until I know okay, I want to do public policy because that's also my initial interest when I applied to DKU as well. Yeah, so beside I think DKU also have other labs and programs where students can explore a lot of things from making movies to traveling. I think DKU bring a lot of opportunities. It just matters whether you will utilize those opportunities or not. So I would say my time in DKU is really great. And if you guys have any question, I'm open to the questions.
Great, thank you, V. Thank you for sharing. I think as I mentioned, I want to make sure this gets to more interactive. So I would love to see questions or things you want to know from the audience, from the group here, and we can go from there. You can either just raise your hand or unmute yourself